We're going to go straight to questions. I'm not going to waste any time, but I'm told that the first question is from. Can we get? Do we have the first question?
Hi there. We hear that Peter Capaldi is a really nice guy. Is that true? What is he like to work with?
Well, he's rubbish at disguising his voice.
Hello. I get my own.
Can we get? Here we go. We have a chair for you, Peter.
Good morning.
What a surprise! Were you in the neighborhood? What happened?
My daughter's got a ticket, so I had to deal with that.
The sonic screwdriver is sort of the Doctor's iconic tool/weapon sometimes. While you're on set, do you guys ever play with it? And do you have a funny moment where, you know, you've caught someone trying to open something?
I want to know too. Did you ever forget and take it home?
Ooh. Well, you know, it's a prop. It doesn't do that stuff. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I've got to have a word with you about Daleks as well. But it's a very handsome-looking prop, much heavier than the toy ones, and with very rough metal edges that, if you're not careful, would slice your thumb open. And also it rips up the inside of your inside pocket. So it's not a prop that people throw around or have fun with. It has to be taken great care of.
What was going through your head when you found out you had to do the Sonic sunglasses? What was going through your head with that? I just find it the worst thing in
Well, it was a divisive issue in fandom. Fandom was pretty well. It was
a divisive issue.
It was, yeah. Fandom was kind of split about they wanted the device or they were good with the glasses.
Well, I thought it was. Look, let's put any excuse to wear shades.
I thought it was out of style.
Well, yeah, I'll wear shades in the dark. You know. I thought it was a good idea. You know, it was Stephen. I'd seen me wearing shades all the time when we'd gone on a world tour, and he decided that would look good. And I think they do look good on the Doctor. I got to say something really divisive here. I'm not a big fan of the whole Sonic thing.
Calm yourself. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Let the man speak.
Was that the sound of a schism? That was a schism happening right there.
Look, in the back they're walking out. No.
I won't go into detail about it. It's just it was kind of really hard. The sonic screwdriver is very difficult to work with because it's a bit. You know, you buy these ones and they're really nice and they're, they're plastic, and the one we have, which is beautifully made, weighs about 25 pounds. And also, the very first sonic screwdriver I had was Matt's. And so I was there, like on my second or third day, really trying to impress people. And there was a scene where, and at that point, I loved the sonic screwdriver, okay? So we were outside doing something in deep breath, and they said, you've got to sonic the, there was a horse tied up or something, so you had to sonic the reins. And we were in this kind of little kind of area with bushes and a stable.
And also, my very first day with the sonic screwdriver, I actually was really looking forward to the moment when you get to go like that. And I went, obviously not with the noise, but did that.
It took a while to stop him making the noise.
Yeah. But I did that, and the end came flying off. And some bumbling props guy had to come along and moaned at me and said, "No, I've got to go and find it." And he had to go in the bushes.
Somehow this has turned into a health and safety work complaint.
So basically, my first day with the sonic screwdriver, I was then told not to go like that with it. So I have to tell guests who come on the set, please handle with care.
It did fall right down your jacket as well, didn't it? Did you get a hole in your jacket?
Yes, it cut.
And then-
It sort of created a hole in my jacket, and
be a lot of-
it fell in the lining. So suddenly, a monster would be coming in and go. "Huh." Oh, get there. All that would go on. But we didn't use those bits.
On that subject, I remember they first brought the toy version to the set, and I was looking at it saying, this is brilliant. This is a toy version that can do all the different things as opposed to the 3 different screwdrivers we have. And I said, how come we can't make a screwdriver like the toy? And the art department looked at me and said, we don't have their budget. That's why. So when you buy a toy one, understand you've got a better one than Doctor Who. And it makes the noise.
How do you see it, Peter? How do you see their relationship?
The Doctor and the Master.
Yeah.
I think she distresses him terribly.
Yeah.
I think he's pleased to see her. And I have to say, really, a lot of has been made of the gender change. But I think people should really applaud Michelle for coming into this role and embracing it and filling it so completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he finds her, his heart kind of sinks. You know, when someone walks into the room and you go, I'm pleased to see you, and then you go, oh, I remember, now I'm gonna have to go through all this shit. Something really bad is going to happen now. I'm gonna have to put up with all of this.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, because basically, you know, up until he spent so much of his time thinking, I'm alone in the universe, I'm the last of my kind. Oh, I'm not. Oh, that's the one that survived. Crap.
Yeah.
You know?
Life is shit, business as usual.
But the idea, there seemed to be this
Scottish dude.
That's Scottish philosophy. We also have men in rubber suits pretending to be monsters, which is one of the great things about Doctor Who. You will always have, there's a B-movie element that still survives along with the philosophical Freudian elements
Yes,
of
but
it.
the effects did get a lot better. The
No,
original...
the effects are fabulous, but I mean, I think one of the great, you know, people say, what was it like? When did you first feel like Doctor Who? I think it was when they threw a rubber spider in my face and said, fight it. And I said, doesn't it work? Where's the operator? They said, there is no operator. It's just a big rubber spider. Fight it. So yeah, that was great.
And now someone has taken that path.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Jericho Salazar, and I'm the Grinch. Okay.
I love that that's the aside. I'm the Grinch. What are you
I'm
gonna
the Grinch. Okay, I want to ask this. Well, first off, I love you all, you guys. Thank you for coming here. You're amazing.
Sorry, can you just wake that lady up, seeing behind you? Oh, there's you.
Okay.
Thanks for keeping it real.
We love Doctor Who.
I want to ask you, Peter.
Yeah.
Whenever you become the Doctor, like whenever you are the Doctor, do you ever feel all the other doctors inside of you burning, or like some residue they left, the sensation, their souls, I guess?
First of all, that's a very sexy question. Second of all, I can't stop watching your fingers. You're a green one.
Do I feel the other doctors
Inside you.
inside me?
Deep inside you.
Well, I often feel Tom Baker appearing from time to time. Yeah, sometimes you do something and you think that's very Tom or David or John, but I don't sort of consciously try to emulate any of them. I think they're all wonderful, but certainly they echo throughout the show. So we do, in the scripts, there are moments of resonance when there are bits and pieces of things that I know have begun with another Doctor. And I'm always very happy to play those moments.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Grinch.
There's a lot of literary themes in different episodes, and I'm wondering if each of you could tell us what your favorite fairy tale is.
I enjoy Rumpelstiltskin. Because in the original version of Rumpelstiltskin, or the original version I read, which was a Grimm's Fairy Tale 1, when they eventually found Rumpelstiltskin, he was so furious that he'd been discovered that he stamped his foot on the ground with so much power that his foot went into the ground right up to his waist. And his fury was so great that he grabbed his other leg and tore himself asunder. I was a lovely kid, as you can imagine. That was a Scottish bedtime story.
And you just went to Comic-Con, huh, in San Diego?
We had Comic-Con, which was a new experience.
Yeah, I went there a couple of years ago. Did you like the insanity of it all?
I did, because I thought it was very good-hearted. It was a good thing. It's a good thing in the world, you know. It's like a carnival, you know. And you look out the window and you see a little person dressed as Yoda or a little person dressed as Luke Skywalker.
Your panel had 7,000 fans, right?
7,000 people, yeah, all Americans, which was a great and wonderful surprise. And they greeted us very warmly, and we had a good time with them.
You meet other stars too, all the crazy people walking around?
Well, the weird thing was the security, you know, I arrived there, and for 2 days I was locked in a hotel room doing press, and the security people sort of didn't want me to go outside, and I said, come on, guys, give me a break. You know, this is like the only place in the world where, for sure, I'm going to get recognized and have a good time. And they said, okay, so they took me outside, and like no one recognized me. You know, we wandered around for 20 minutes, like one little kid came up, and I thought, oh man, this is really disappointing. But then we turned around a corner, and suddenly there was a line there at the convention center, and they were all queuing up to go and see us the next day. And they were wonderful. I mean, it was just great to meet such warm people.
The most common request I get from fans is for a hug. And I don't know whether that's specific to my Doctor, because he's not a huggable. He made it clear that he wasn't a huggable type.
No, not the hugging. No, I'm against the hugging.
Or whether they ask any Doctor for a hug. But anyone. Perhaps they just walk along the street asking people for hugs. Some of them, I wouldn't put that past them.
My question is, for the Doctor, if he can do a dog voice.
Can I do a Dalek voice?
The physical appearance does not match our data. The appearance of the Doctor has changed before. We will use the mind analysis machine. You are the Doctor. You are an enemy of the Daleks. You will be exterminated. You get very hysterical and then I go mad. And for some reason they go into a Cockney accent. Where is Mary Poppins? Down the street in the pub.
You've been practicing that.
It's okay. If you don't want to do it, it's fine.
I've been practicing since I was 5.
So, in The Witch is Familiar, how did it feel to ride around instead of one of your worst enemies?
You mean in Davros' chair?
Yes.
It was absolutely great. But you know, I don't want to give away too many secrets, but the way that Davros' chair moves around, it's like, you know, do you ever go to the post office and there's like an old lady there in the line on an electric sort of wheelchair thing, like this with her shopping and stuff? That's what's inside Davros's. And you know, I'm really respectful of the old ladies because it's really hard to drive. And when I did it at first, you know, I had to come through quite a narrow little doorway, which a Dalek can get through. I couldn't get through.
You kept banging into the sides.
I banged into the sides, and then I discovered that the crew had put a learner plate on it. Because I couldn't drive. It's terrible.
I wanted to ask if you actually had control of the TARDIS and you could pick up 3 famous historical figures or people from history, who would you invite aboard the TARDIS?
Oh gosh, that sounds tough. Well, you know, I think, well, this year we'd go get Prince. We'd go get Alan Rickman. And we'd go get David. Wow. And we would party.
I was wondering, since you've been here in the U.S., what is your favorite memory while you've been here?
Dallas. Dallas. No, Dallas is... You know, Dallas, you know, it's one of the very weird things because I arrived yesterday and I got straight off the plane and I held up at immigration because they didn't, you know, looked at it said I came from Gallifrey and they didn't buy that. Although the guy at immigration said, "Where are you going?" And I said to comment, he said, "Spider-Man through here the other day." And he looked at me and he said, "Who you?"
Don't you know who I am?
I said, "I'm Doctor Who." And he said, he looked at me and went, "You are Doctor Who."
In you go.
So that was fun. No, but actually what was that? So what I'm saying was I really saw very little of Dallas except for immigration here and the hotel. What is extraordinary, of course, is the people. It's so lovely to hear people. They're so courteous and smart and clever, and your accents are just...
Their accent.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
They'll tell you they don't have an accent.
No, well, to me, yeah, you do, and it's absolutely beautiful. And also you have a wonderful courtesy, which is extraordinary. You know, the person, you know, talking to you may want to wring your neck or whatever, but they will say it in the most genteel way.
Welcome to the South.
Yeah.
I want to know about your experience of working with a deaf performer on your show, and if you would be willing to use deaf characters in future episodes, and let me know how that was. Thank you so much.
It's more about, Sophie was extraordinary, but because she is an extraordinary actress, and what I found really interesting working with her is how much she uses her eyes and how much she connects with you with her eyes and her focus, and that's kind of what pierces and makes her brilliant. But it's because she is a brilliant actress first and foremost, I think. So it was wonderful to work with her.
And I would agree with that. I mean, Sophie was fabulous, and it's almost like, you know, her deafness had no relevance, you know, to what she was doing. We didn't do anything special or different, or it was just, we had another wonderful performer, we have wonderful guest stars, and she was one of the wonderful guest stars. You know, her talent is her talent, which is very, very big. So we're just very glad to have people like that around, whatever other special things they may have about them.
So I have a TARDIS tattoo. I'm a total dork, I know. And so when researching what kind of like tattoo I wanted, I kind of went, it's a bit weird to have someone's face tattooed on you, but I did see a lot of tattoos of like Matt and David and everyone. And so my question is like, yeah, and even you, Peter, there are people with like your face tattooed on their bodies. So my question is, how does that make you feel? And Pearl, you know, you might go on someone's like arm one day. So how does that feel? Like permanently.
Well, the best tattoo of that kind that I've ever seen, actually quite recently, was revealed to me, and it was my name tattooed on the bottom of a woman's back, a very beautiful woman.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Is this getting Doctor Who after dark? What's?
But she was my wife. She is my wife, who just recently got a tattoo of me, which is really scary because now I've got to get one of her.
Probably one of the most pivotal moments for your character for me probably was the Zygon inversion monologue. That just, you know, for sci-fi sake, it definitely did bring people together in kind of a sci-fi way, and I miss that in the whole realm of like space opera stuff. What was your favorite moment so far, or a couple if you don't have just one?
One of the whole series. There's so many wonderful things. I must just say that day that we did that was very interesting because it was unusual at that point to have. I know it was like 11 pages long or something, so they had to just wind me up, and I just had to keep shooting it. But I had a great commotion going on because we were having a visitor that day, and there were a lot of mysterious men with dark glasses and earpieces, sort of. And we actually had the American ambassador, who was doing a tour. Who the American ambassador at that time was very diligent in his responsibilities and toured the whole of the UK, trying to understand the country and make contacts with people. And one of the places he came to was Cardiff, and we were shooting. And he was sitting watching that speech.
That was cool.
Well, it was really unusual because when I finished it, the first time I did it, there was a little round of applause. And someone had to say, we don't usually applaud after. But it was sweet. It was from the ambassador and from his team. So it was really nice there, and he was very kind in his praise of that moment. I think the show is full of so many lovely moments. Some of them are very personal, and some of them are ones that you might understand. And sometimes it just catches you when you don't expect. Sometimes there's just a moment which is a little collision of your childhood and your maturity and your fanboyishness. And sometimes it's a realization of how special this thing is that I've got so lucky to do. I can remember once doing a thing where sometimes we have kids come to visit us who are not in great shape. And we had them in the TARDIS. They didn't know I was going to appear. They didn't know I was there. So I came on to the TARDIS, and they gasped. And I gasped. I'm Doctor Who. So that was beautiful. So you often get very lovely things like that.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Even though you guys just started out filming, is there any funny stories you have about each other from the set?
No, we both take our jobs very seriously.
Nothing funny has happened yet, but we'll keep you posted.
All right.